Mountain Dew. But couldn't do that for too long because I ran out of money for Cheetos and Mountain Dew. So I went and got a job at an auto parts store. Which one? I'm not telling you because you people scare me.
I know where you live.
Oh God. You know, auto parts store. It's not a good customer service gig because the customers already come in angry. So first off, I meet the craziest people there. Had one customer come in. Excuse me, can you check my daughter's check engine light? Pretty standard. All right, sure. I go outside. I go to this woman's car. Ma'am, can you please get out of your car so I can check your engine light? No. Ma'am, why can't you let me, why can't you let me go check out your check engine light? I had an accident. You had an accident? Yeah. Accident? That's when the girl's mother looked at me and said, "Boy, she shot her britches." Let me get a manager. I thought that was going to be the worst of it, and then it wasn't. Had another customer come in later. Dude comes in, takes up 30 minutes of my time trying to talk about car wax, which I know nothing about. Finally get him to make a decision on something, you know, make him purchase it. He says thank you, starts to help the door, gets on the other side of the door, and that's when I see this. The dude rips off his own underwear, goes to his car, and starts waxing it with his used, ripped underwear. And it starts leaving brown streaks. He comes back in the store, and he tries to return it because it wasn't working. My manager looks at me and says, "I'm not returning that shit." This whole past year hasn't always been that great. Also, broke up with my boyfriend at the time of about 5 years. You know, kind of sadly, no, it was probably for the best. I wasn't really happy anymore, he wasn't happy anymore. His fiance thought I was a bit of a dick. Yeah, but it does beg the question, this is especially true in furry relationships. When you break up with someone, who gets the toys? No, seriously, on the one hand you have a $200 horse, and on the other hand you got the tips, so. I'm trying to move past it, looking on the bright side of things. So I try to just remember the good times I had with him, not the bad stuff. So I like to think back to my very first ever FurCon, IFC 2010. Oh yeah, we checked into the hotel room early to put hot dogs and donuts, and start having some fun. Next thing I know, I hear this electronic whining sound. It sounds kind of suspicious and weird. And my first thought is, I thought I left those toys at home. But that's when I started looking around the room, and I look out the window, which we had forgotten to close. And we see a window cleaner start slowly lowering to the same level as us. And we make eye contact. And that's when the hot dog was no longer a donut, but in a Twinkie. All right, I'm out of time. Thanks for having me.
Cool. All right. And now we have a musical guest right away, Ditman Rat.
Okay. I'm not an electrician. find our shares on this side.
Okay.
Maybe we should help us at Holiday Inn Express. Hot dog goes into the donut.
Don't touch those dogs, they're dirty.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
All right, I think this is good. All right, for my thing I'm doing, I'm going to impersonate a British English teacher, also known as Sting. And this is another song that's very fitting for the theme of the year. You've decided on a killing. First you make a stone of your heart, and if you find that your hands are still willing, then you can turn a murder into art. Isn't really any need of production, just do it a little more. That's
see. Let's do green in the back. What's your name?
Call me sir.
Call me sir. Oh, sir. Call me Siri. Sir. Give it up for sir.
Okay, I'm just going to tell a quick little story. You said you want to be out of here for this one, so just leave. About, what is it, 2 years ago now, I was at Fur Reality for my second time. The first time we won't talk about it. You know why. I got thrown out of the con twice just for being in the wrong place. Didn't intend to be, so. But 2 years ago, I thought I was funny and decided to do the cringiest thing ever, is go to an open mic, much like this, with no idea of what I was going to talk about after having 3 shots. I'm a lightweight. 3 shots is like finishing the bottle for some of you, and like drinking from noon, was it, to now. So, open mic comes about halfway in. It's my turn. I get pointed out, just like now. Alkali goes, come on up on stage. No mic, so I don't have anything to sit there and hold, and I can't see the back of the room. So I start talking about my work. And as you all know, work at a furry con, if you're not a furry or an IT, isn't funny. Especially if you're a mechanic on trains. 5 minutes later, I have Uncle Kage in the front row doing this. And Alkali standing to the side of the stage, just going, get off, get off, get off, get off. It worked. About 20 minutes later, they start Mystery Science 3000 for the last time at Fur Reality. As you all know, if you were here last night, Mystery Science goes crazy. Well, because I did such a great job in the open mic, I got trashed. To the point of where I'm louder than Alkali. He's trashed too, and he's about done for the night. That's why. Lo and behold, end of Mystery Science, we go up to this, I try going up the stairs. I'm crawling. He walks on me, over me, past. I say I win. Next year comes, for Reality 2016. I'm embarrassed, just a touch. So the whole con, just to kind of make up for things, I apologize, I volunteer, you know, I try doing the right thing to make up for the mess I caused. And Alkali is talking in one of his panels about open mic and what you shouldn't do. I walked out because I was just sitting there going, oh God, no, not even. That night, YouTube, up on YouTube, this is what was said on YouTube. Hello guys, welcome to open mic. Whatever you do, do not come up here drunk. It's been a year since the last incident, and I just went. So I come down, back into the con, act like nothing happened. 10 minutes later, his best friend's telling me, do you want to be staff here? So I guess I did something right. But thank you, just a little warning to those of you coming up here.
There you go, that's what not to do. So who else wants to come up here? Let's do Dustin the Husky. I know you've been wanting to get up. So give it up for Dustin the Husky!
Who has had a problem with bullies in high school? Who has actually acted upon it? Okay, so one day I walked to my car after school and someone had key scratched dicks all over my car. I knew exactly who did it because when I was leaving the parking lot, he cut in front of me in a nice big truck and he had custom-made truck nuts. I absolutely hated it. I hate truck nuts. I also knew where he lived because I had at least worked on stuff for him. But he knew I would do something stupid in time, so I took my revenge 6 months later. One night, around midnight, I drive toward his location. I'm armed with the scissors, and I turn my lights off, just getting up the road. And then now I am looking at his truck's nuts. These are custom made. This is leather, hand stitched, with 2 steel balls inside. That was fucking weird. This was also a time when I was not sure of myself sexually, so this is the first time I have actually touched a giant scrotum. So then, I did something that I actually cringed doing because I've watched port bulls get castrated and that made me, So then, I take my mighty scissors and then I stab the thing. Boom. And then I sawed it off. And then it dropped. Boom. Oh, well that was still weird. I picked him up. Then I drove straight to my school. I knew exactly where he parked his truck every day. He always backed it up, and there's always a bit of overhang onto the grass. So, I had this all planned out. I placed it that, I guess it was Monday morning, dropped him where his truck would overhang, and I would see how long it would take for him to actually notice. It took him till Friday. At the lunch table, he is now blaring mad. He is now also red in the face, and he also told me, "Did you fucking cut my truck nuts?" And I played stupid. You have truck nuts? Really? So then he yanks me to the front office, because his mother actually works there as a health attendant. Well, he now demands that he finds the whole week worth of parking passes, and he demands to see if my name was on that list. Wasn't even on there. Then he looked at me dumbfounded, and to this very day, he still has no idea who cut the nuts up his truck. Thank you.
All right, good job. All right, who else want to be up here? Let's see. Rue. All right, let's coming up. Which I forget it. Furry Bobs. Give it up for Furry Bobs.
Everyone, given that this is Friday the 13th, I thought there would be more ghost stories. So since there hasn't been one, I'll be happy to tell you one. As maybe you know, I'm a fireman. I work here in the city of Milwaukee, and I was at one of the fire stations near downtown, not in downtown, just nearby. And we got a call for a water leak at the Pabst Mansion. Yes, that's the Pabst beer family, the huge mansion they have out there. It is a beautiful, beautiful building. We get out there and we're met by the caretaker, and he's telling us, I don't know what to do. The water's pouring out of the walls. And we're like, okay, let's go take a look. We go inside, beautiful furniture, 12-foot high ceilings, and this banister, like 6-foot wide stairwell, and the water is just pouring down like a waterfall. It's wrecking the furniture. And the wallpaper is peeling off, and my boss says, hey, why don't you take the cub, we'll go downstairs to the basement, and we'll try to find the water shut off. And we're like, yep, you got it, boss, we'll go downstairs. Now he's got the lantern, a nice big 6-volt battery one that lights up everything, and I got my little AA mag light that I'm working with. We get down the stairs, and the lights are on, but it's still super dark. The light bulbs, these are new light bulbs. Why are they just barely yellow? Just give me a real dingy light coming off there, and the light isn't going anywhere. This is really creeping us out. So we get a few steps in, and we look around. It's the Cream City brick construction. Maybe about 6.5 foot tall archway, so you still kind of dug, even though it's tall enough for you to walk through. And it looks like some of those old Civil War prisons. Dirt floor, and it goes on forever. It goes well beyond the structure. So as we're going through, we catch out of the corner of our eye this black head and shoulders just peek out from a pillar. We actually saw it go back behind the pillar. And the guy says to me, "Did you see that?" I said, yeah, I saw it. Just ignore it. We'll just ignore it and just keep on going. And then we start hearing voices. "Who is that? I don't know. Who is that? I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is?" This all throughout the whole place. And now there's head and shoulders behind every single pillar that we're walking by. And there's more of them. 2 over here, 3 over here, and I feel like they're closing in. And the lights are even getting darker. And we don't know what to do. So he says, "I don't go upstairs and tell the boss we can't find anything." He runs away, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I've got this little tiny light. That's all I got. And I'm still looking for the water shut off. I can't find it. The darkness is coming in closer and closer and closer, and everyone's getting louder. And I'm not the one talking. There's an entire conversation going on around me, and I don't know what to do. So finally, I said, "Hold on, stop. I'm a fireman. You have a water leak in your house. All of your stuff is being destroyed. I need to shut the water off." And there's nothing. And off in the distance, "Over here." Do I go over there? Sure, why not? I'm almost pissing myself going over to where the voice came from. It's the very, very end of the hallway. There's this folding table up against the wall. There's nothing else in there. I pull back the table, and there's this little tiny spigot coming out of the ground. I shut off that spigot. I turn around. All the lights are bright. It's crazy. And I couldn't run fast enough to the stairs. No more head and shoulders. And I actually just felt this thank you behind me. But it was a crazy, crazy ghost story. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Alrighty, who else wants to get up here? Okay, a lot of guys. Let's go all the way in the back with the green paw. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. I'm such a great. Shut up. Shut up. What's your name? Give it up for Wiggly Bacon.
So I met my boyfriend Moons on OkCupid, and he's wonderful. But before I met him, there were some rather interesting people. A lot of guys that were in their 40s and 50s trying to hit on me, which creeped me the fuck out. And then I met this one dude who was round about my age, so I decided, okay, you seem nice, so we'll meet up. So I met up with him, and I met him at a mall because I'm not stupid. I'm not meeting this guy somewhere private. So he comes up to me where I'm waiting in front of the mall. First thing out of his mouth is, "You don't look 25. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I get that a lot." And he's like, "No, I mean, you look really young." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I know, I get that a lot." He's like, "You look like you're 12. I said, "I do not look 12. He's like, no, it's cool, I'm into it." Now, this is when I should have walked away. But I understand that sometimes I'm not very smooth when it comes to meeting people. Sometimes I can, say the wrong thing. Maybe he was being funny. So I give the guy the benefit of the doubt. We have some coffee together, talk about music. Things are going pretty well. And then, we take a walk down to the lakefront. and we kiss a little bit. Things are going pretty nice. I'm thinking I might actually have a boyfriend in the same state for once. And then he says to me, so I brought something for you, and I would really like it if you put it on. I have no idea what I was expecting. Maybe some sort of, like, I don't know, first date friendship bracelet or whatever. He reaches into his backpack and he pulls out a diaper. I just kind of stare at him stunned, and I'm like, is that a diaper? And he says, yeah, like this is normal. And I say, I'm not putting on a diaper. He's like, no, they're really comfortable, you'll like it. I'm wearing one right now. I'm like, okay, well, good for you. I'm not gonna get down on you for being into what you're into, but I am not putting on the diaper. He's like, no, you see, I figured that, like, you can put on the diaper, and then I can feed you with a baby bottle. And then I can change your diaper. And I'm like, I am not doing that. He's like, your profile said that you like cuddling. I honestly really had no idea how to respond to that. At this point, I faked that I had a text from a friend that needed me, and I left. But to this day, I just shudder in fear as to what he would have thought had I said that I like kissing.
All right, great, thank you. Okay, who else want to come up here? So many. All right, green hat all the way over here. Yes, I said over here. What's your name? Oh, Janur. Yeah, I didn't see the hat threw me off. Give it up for Janur.
Thanks, guys. The first time you've seen me not in a suit, right?
It's true.
Oh, getting old sucks, let me tell you that much. I mean, look at this. Do yourself a favor, don't get old. Just ask Alkaline. Oh, shit. Too late, he's leaving. Anyway, folks, can I get a show of hands? How many people actually flew to get here to this convention? Anybody fly here?
Hardly.
Thank God, one person. All right, great. This has been work. You know, you're brave, so I'll give you that. Simply because, you know, I'm not afraid of flying. I have no problem whatsoever with flying. My problem's with the TSA when I fly to a furry convention. I don't mind flying, it's just, they open my luggage, and there are things in my luggage. Things in my luggage that should not be exposed to the family of four heading to Disney World directly back at me. Daddy, what are those? They're special toys. Want to play? Next thing I know, I end up in the TSA office with the rubber glove. I don't know why. So, speaking of which, I've got friends, and they're into that stuff, and one of them asked me, you know what, I'm afraid of the maids. I said, why are you afraid of the maids? They see stuff like this all the time. It's like, no, I don't want them looking at my stuff. It's like, well, here's how you solve that problem. That Thor toy you've got, you know, put it in the center of the room, next to a bottle of lube. Make sure the room's clean and leave. I guarantee you, any maid that walks into that room, sees that on the table, is not going to take the time to go looking for what you took the time to hide. Absolute truth. And a friend of mine tells me, oh, well, that's okay, Thor's nice. I mean, after all, I accidentally took part of Thor. I mean, how do you accidentally take part? Were you walking around the house naked, slipping? Whoa! Just not my thing. I just don't get it. The other thing I want to talk about, they say when you start off with this stuff, you're supposed to talk about things you know. I hope you guys are ready for about another 2 minutes of fat jokes. If you ever walk down the diet section of a food aisle, it's absolutely terrifying. They put together words that I did not even know exist. I looked at the label on a package of diet cookies. There was a word on there that I could not even pronounce. There were 27 consonants and 1 vowel. No clue what the hell it was. I dropped it on the floor, the ant walked up to it and walked away. It's like going to the diet frozen food section. You know, Sara Lee now makes a triple mocha fudge cheesecake, and now Weight Watchers has the same version. I weigh 300 pounds. How diet is a cheesecake when you eat the whole goddamn thing? That's what I want to know. Well, I guess that's about all I got, because you know what? You guys aren't rolling in the aisles. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. All right, let's keep going. Who else wants to come up? All right, let's go to the other side. Helmet over here. What's that? Wait, oh, Chaka. Give it up.
Hey guys, it's my first open mic. This is rather nerve-wracking. I'd like to tell a story from last year at Fursquared. I'm sure some of you may remember these. Yeah! Well, I'd like to tell the story about how they came about. So, I have a friend named Pie Fox. He's a fun guy. It's very interesting. And leading up to the con, he kept saying, well, we're going to make these shirts. It's going to be great. It's going to be really funny. So he comes up with this design, and we keep pushing it off, pushing it off. Last minute, he makes, like, I think 5 of them. Like, one for me, one for him, and a couple other people. So we wear them to the con. They're a big hit. Everybody loves them. Another guy I know named Tech, a great guy. He comes up and he says, hey, that's awesome. Where's mine? It's like, well, we didn't make them. They were really last minute. We didn't really have much time to put it together. We did push it off. So Tech really wants one. So he goes around all of his friends and he says, hey, we got these shirts. Who else wants one? So now we've got 5 or 6 people who want these shirts. Like, well, how are we going to do this? So I get the idea. I say, hey, there's an Office Max. We could go get some supplies. There's a Target. We can get some more shirts. He says, okay, where are we going to get a printer? So here we're running around the counter. We're trying to find a LaserJet printer. Nobody has one. So we go to Tech and say, Tech, we can't do it. We don't have this printer. We can't print these, well, I guess I should value or so they print these little logos. Real simple. He said, we can't do this. We don't have this printer. Tech says, okay, what's your PayPal? Okay, here's my PayPal. It's this email. Sends us $100. Says, go buy a printer from OfficeMax. So we run to OfficeMax, buy a printer, buy the iron. We run, no, let me go to you, Xander. We say, what's Appleized shirt size? So then we run to Target, and we get a bunch of t-shirts. Then we take it all up to the hotel room. There's no printer. So we pull out, Pi pulls out his phone, creates a Wi-Fi hotspot, we connect to that, connect to the computer, print out the decals, iron them up with the ironing table, and iron the hotel provides. I say, okay, now we got these shirts, what are we going to do with them? Tech says, hey, we got the charity dinner. Let's do something there. So we all put on our shirts. We all go to the charity dinner. We all sit up on the stage with our beautiful Kale-Con shirts. Alkali comes in, he just looks at us. Shakes his head. Everybody's giggling and laughing. Comes up on stage and we present him with this shirt for him. It's truly a beautiful scene, seeing all of us lined up with our Kale-Con shirts. Thank you.
All right, let's keep going. We'll go back over this side. We'll go green Henry here, the first grade shirt. Yep. Oh, it sucks. Oh, no, go, come on in. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I recognized. What's your name? Silver. Yeah. Give it up for Silver.
So did anyone realize that they gave the hotel the Novi treatment? Then I read of it. Anyways, I have a really weird job. I work at the Art Institute of Chicago as a security guard. So, but there's this guy named Pete, and he watches everyone. He's like sentient. If you think about him, he's there. So, I'm just, what we're not supposed to do is we're not supposed to talk to the other guards because it's like, it looks bad or whatever. So I literally walk over to another guard just to tell her that there's a service dog entry in the area. I trip into the room.
Officer in gallery 184, and to separate, monitor your designated areas. Thank you.
He's there. He's always there. But I love cons. In fact, it's really hard to tell people who are security guards at this art institute that what I do. They're like, what do you do? You're always so uptight and scared and nervous. I'm like, I have no idea. So, Fursquared I've been going to for 4 years. This is my 4th year, so I mean, I don't think I missed a con. But, I don't think I missed a con. My very first Fursquared was the first time I first suited at a con. And boy, that was interesting. Because, literally, my friend Nitro Husky and I, we were walking around with Husky the Husky and just going in, we were just stupid. We were going around and like breaking into rooms and just like knocking on it, not like breaking into rooms. We were like just, we were dumb. We decided to just do this one thing where we'd knock on someone's door and they'd open and it wouldn't be the person they expected. This guy walks up to the door and he's completely fucking naked. And then he's like, come in the room. And we're like, why do you want us to come in the room? So we come in the room and then another guy comes up from the bed and he's completely naked. And he's like, sup? So we left. We left and we never looked back. And that's all I got.
Why were you in that room?
We were dumb.
Okay. All right. Who else wants to go out? Go back over this way. Let's do red, crimson shirt. Yeah. What's your name? Fulham. Fulham. Fullcore. Give it up for Fullcore.
So this is my first open mic, so I was thinking of stories to possibly do. And I was thinking, why not combine horror with love? So these are the two stories about how I fucking suck at love. 4th grade, my first crush ever, actually. There was a girl called Jasmine. Now she was pretty weird, so to say. As in, I would read books and she would eat ants off the ground. But for some reason, I was just so infatuated with her. Just endlessly. I thought of her every day. So I talked to my mom, and I'm like, I really like this girl, Jasmine. She's like, well, where does she live? And I told her her address. She's like, you know, suburban, white home, whatever. And she drops me off at her house, because I wanted to be all romantic, knock on her door and deliver her flowers. They're yellow. I think that's important to know. Turns out she dropped me off at the other Jasmine's house. So I knock on the door, knock, knock, knock. Jasmine herself, the other Jasmine, the possibly not nuts one, opens the door. And I just threw down the yellow flowers and I just bolted the other direction. I was scared shitless. And I never talked to her again. Also, she moved away. So now we're gonna mature up a bit. From totally socially awkward to still socially awkward, but hey, I can disguise it well. 10th grade, my second ever crush. Her name was Bella. Now, I figured, because she was in our mutual front group, you know, the Game of Thrones escalator that happens in high school. And I figured, hey, she's shy, I'm shy, we're totally perfect for each other. So, I remember I'd do stupid shit too, like in summer school. I would purposely finish my homework in first period as fast as I could, sometimes an hour before the class actually ended, just so I could see her in soccer. And she didn't even play soccer, she was just on the grass with her friend talking about, I don't know what they talk about nails. I did stuff like that. Again, so infatuated. So 11th grade rolls around and we sit at the same lunch table. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And turns out that was a trip to Ireland coming up. Where basically I'd be gone for 10 days, it was orchestra, whatever. Get to learn about the culture and all that. By the way, the Blarney Rock is just a stone. Just like a stone wall. I didn't realize that. Whatever. So I figured, gee, I haven't had a conversation with this person at all, literally. I've never talked to her one-on-one. How should I approach this? So I figured, of course, I'll write email to her. 6 paragraphs long, paraphrasing my love for her. I did it right as Ireland was coming up. So literally, right before I left for the Ireland on the airplane, 15 minutes, I send the email. And I'm just like, okay, this will work, maybe, I don't know. She got the email, I opened it up. She replied within 10 minutes. And she actually said yes. So inside I'm like, oh, okay, cool. On the inside of my mind I'm thinking, oh my fucking God. Because it was my first experience with love. And suddenly she said, yes, they liked me. Woo. I came back and I'm like, oh shit, I still don't know how to talk to her. Since she sat at our lunch table. So I remember I wore a hoodie and my initial reaction was to go up to the lunch table, pull the chair out like a badass, plop feet up on the second chair, and just put my hoodie up and pretend to be cool. It did not work. It gets worse. She turned me down a month later because in my paragraph I'm like, oh, we should go out. I didn't specify anything. And 2 paragraphs long. I kept on saying, if you don't want to go out, that's fine. And so she said no. I didn't take that too well, you could say. But then, and she stopped talking to me for a year. And a little side note, the most miraculous thing happened. She started talking to me this year. Ooh. I remember, this is the last point. I remember, I was talking with her in Seoul. She's like, oh, Fursquared, feel my hand, it's cold. And I'm like, what? So I hold it. She hands it out like a princess, like this. Like I'm supposed to take it like a chivalrous knight. I take it, 2 seconds, I'm like, ugh, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's cold. And people still wonder why I don't have a girlfriend.
Alright, thank you very much. Alright, who's the next person victim thing? Orange, right over here. Yeah, you. Yep. Okay, what's your name? Angus. Give it up for Angus.
We've got a powerful amplifier here. It doesn't blow anybody away here. Turn it on here. See if we got any sound.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not good. There we go, we got some. Okay, got powerful sound going. How's the con going? Everybody having a good time? Not too creepy for you? And those roommates next door, one of the guys next door to us they were taking a shower here. One of the guys came to the door outside, knock on the door, and all of a sudden it was, hey, I hope you guys are wearing a condom. How many of you guys got pets out there? Well, I tell you what, one of my neighbors she's got a big female dog. Or is it, no, she's got a big male dog, that's his deal. And she's got a big house, and one of her friends came, and he was going on a trip as well, and he's got a male dog, but her dog was in heat, and he wanted her to take care of his dog, and she thought for a while, and said, well, I got a big house, I got a basement, I can keep them apart, we'll be okay. And of course, that sounded great till middle of the first night, 2 in the morning, heard this terrible howling going on, and came down there, and there they were locked up together, and she, oh my. She called up her veterinarian, and the veterinarian comes, what can I do for you? And she said, well, the 2 dogs are locked up, I gotta get them apart, I can't have this, I'm taking care of the other person's dog, I gotta get them apart. And she says, well, just lay the phone down there by the male dog, and hang up, I'll call back, the phone will ring, it'll lose its erection, it'll it'll be all over, you know. You think that'll work? Worked for me. So we picked on the dogs. Now I got to do something for a cat story too. My mom was taking care of a cat for a friend of hers, and this cat, you had to eat lunch with it, or it wouldn't eat. So you had to bring your lunch, eat lunch, put some junk in the bowl, and the cat would eat. And she was teaching a class one day, so I volunteered to go dine with the cat. And so this is a large cat. And the cat comes down the big stairway. Panda, it's a big cat, you know, magnificently walking down the stairway. Says, I'm here to feed me my food now. And so I did. I put the food in the bowl and pet the cat, and the cat purred and everything like that. It was really nice. And we had our lunch, and the cat was done eating, and I pet it. I pet the cat a little bit more, and all of a sudden it just came up to me and just went, I gotta sit this down for a second. The cat, I was just petting the cat, and all of a sudden just went, just like that fast. And it hissed and walked away, like, you can leave now, get the fuck out. So that's that. So I brought this up here. I'll do just a bar or two of this just for fun, because I did bring it up. Making me nervous playing up here for all these people. Stray cat sitting on a fence, ain't got enough to pay the rent. I'm flat broke, but I don't care. I struck right by with my tail in the air. Cat straight, if a stray cat straight on the sky, well, I'm the real Casanova. That's what's at. Well, she's thrown out from the old man. I get my dinner from a garbage can. I didn't know the part. I don't bother chasing marks around. Down the alley looking for a fight. I'm at the moonlight on a hot summer night. I see the blues while the little cats cry. Wild stray cats are real down there. I wish I could be carefree and wild. Well, I got cat class and I got cat style.
Thank you very much. Okay, who's next? I know, I just don't want to... Did we get everybody yet? Let's see. Right there. Yeah, you. What's your name? Oh, Chrono. Give it up for Chrono.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So, as none of you may know, which I will now tell you, I'm currently a flight attendant. So, before we begin this act, let's go through a brief safety demonstration. Federal law mandates I show you how to buckle a seatbelt, but truth be told, if you don't know by now, you're all screwed. In addition, if there's an emergency, I'd love to say that you could use your seats as a flotation device. Two of you, you might need a couple seats. Now, in the event that the air becomes unbreathable or there's a depressurization, please take the condom out of your mouth. You're not supposed to suck with it on. Now sit back, relax. Don't, for the love of God, touch your fucking flight attendant call button. I'll give you the money for the jar later. Now, lock the doors, lower the blinds, and we'll have a real good time. Now, some of the best things I've ever seen people manage to do in flight.
We're gonna switch mics, sorry about that.
Now, some of the best things I've seen horrible, horrible people do on the planes is, yes, there's a thing called the Mile High Club. The best thing that can happen is when the pilot gets involved midway through our flight. It's always interesting, especially when the door decides to open. Now, as all of you know, our bathrooms tend to be about this big on a good day. When you've got a pilot and one of the other flight attendants come through the door into the aisle, you think, oh crap, they're naked. That's bad. They didn't stop. No, I don't roll that way. I slowly went out, took out the phone, and did a quick one ding to call the other flight attendants and the cockpit and said to the first officer and the rest of the crew, hey, so we've got an issue back here. Looks like our pilot's doing an early landing. It was just a little bit of a touch and go. Another time we were sitting there on a 10-hour flight out to Amsterdam. What was fun about that was the parents who decide to lay their babies down on the tray table and change them like it's no one's business. Because please, those things are dirty enough as it is and we don't want your child getting sick. That's not nearly the worst thing that can be on the table. Now, she's sitting there, and as we're doing our beverage service, she quickly whips it over and says, can you take this for me, please? And I'm sitting there going, mentally, oh, hell no. Hell no. Unfortunately, I whipped out a quick bag from the tray table and said, sure, let me take that for you. I'm secretly going to tell the other people not to serve you anything or to possibly spit in it. You decide which one you prefer. Ultimately, though, I think my best flight I ever had was when we had to kick off one of our passengers because they were drunk. The best part about it wasn't their airline. Sure, they were flying to Phoenix, but it was with Southwest. Oh, can't talk there, but it was with Southwest. And out of Atlanta, well, good luck finding anything there. Ultimately, though, the story is be nice to your flight attendants. We can make that 4-hour flight hell for you. Thank you, and have a safe flight now.
All right, thanks so much. All right, who else wants to get what? All right, I'll see you later. All right, who else wants to get up here? Anybody? Okay, Tobe. This is Tobe Otter. Give it up for Tobe Otter.
Hi guys, I'm Tobe. So if you were here for my bit last night, you'll know that I'm an engineering student and not an alcoholic. Shut up, Mom. The thing about being an engineer is you don't have to be smart or have common sense. You just have to get the test. Case in point, I'm not a smart individual. Even when I'm not drunk, I do really stupid shit. This one time, I didn't know if this lamp was on or off because it was one of those stupid two-way switches. It doesn't have a light bulb in it. So I stuck my finger in it. It was on. I already had a heart problem. It was fine. But yeah, electricity is a really fun thing to play with when you're sober or when you're drunk. So my freshman year, we had a thing called Greatest Floor where the floors compete and do stupid challenges, solve a crossword puzzle, make a Rube Goldberg machine, do all your homework early, that sort of thing. And my floor came in like 7th place or something, so we got $150. And we were all deciding, hey, what do we want to spend this floor money on? Some people said Taco Bell, some people said White Castle, both those were rejected because we all shared a bathroom. And eventually was decided with my sophomore, at my essays, the president associate of their sophomores and other students. we all got drunk, and we decided, hey, let's get 9-volt batteries. Because you ever lick one of those and you know how it tingles? What could $150 worth of those all chained together do? There are 2 rules for the students at my school. Don't be a dick, and don't do stupid shit. Those aren't the students' rules, those are in the manual. Along with the rule that if you bring a pen, it must be small enough to flush. Actual written rules. There's a 3rd rule now that we don't like to talk about because of my floor. So we got the batteries and we hooked them up positive and negative and created a chain from here to here and bent it around so that you could touch both of them. And me, being the bright person that I am and the slightly drunk person that I was, decided to go first. Now I'll be the first to tell you, I am not a religious man. I saw God. It felt like a horse kicked me in the chest. I blacked out. Some interesting things happened as soon as I touched it that I was not aware of. Several people the next day had battery-shaped bruises on their heads because apparently it exploded. Some of them overheated, and there are acid burns on the floor in that room now. You can now no longer buy batteries with floor money in my school. All right, thank you very much.
Awesome. Okay, who else has gotten up here that wants to get up here? Yeah, anyone who has not gotten up yet? I'm just curious. All right, let's go all the way in the back, in the hat. Yes. Yeah. And then we'll do more of you guys who have been up here already. What's your name?
Essay. 2 letters.
Essay. Give it up for Essay.
That's a lot of eyes. This is my first open mic. I suffer from stage fright, so this will be interesting. Now, first impressions, very important. I've only been in the fandom for roughly 2 or 3 years, so there's a lot of impressions that I have yet to witness. The first time I learned of furries was on DeviantArt. Fun topic. Regardless, the first MFF 2014, that was my first con. Up until then, the only experience I had with furries was DeviantArt and YouTube. So, I'm on the panel, see Alkali, in the far distance, I was like, oh my god, it's Alkali, the guy from YouTube. And the panel, you can see him far side of the room, kind of small, was a long room. Run over, he gets bigger, bigger, oh, that's a tall guy. Same thing happened with Uncle Kage, Anthrocon. I see Kage across the room, I'm like, oh my god, it's Kage. I get closer, he gets bigger, and then he stops getting bigger. Hi, Uncle Kage. Pleasure to meet you. First impressions. I had heard rumors of what people think furries do, what some might do, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't, Anthrocon 2016. I went with 2 friends, and our hotel was 5 blocks from the con. No biggie, I'm psyched, this is my first Anthrocon. Like, cool, let's do this. Put my gear on, and we're walking through the street. A guy comes up to us, 3 of us. He looks at me in my head. Are you a cat? Are you a human? And he just stared at us. His little brother was like, wow, you're a cat. I felt good. He just pulled her away. Quickly, very quickly. And on our way back from Anthrocon that night, we went to an elevator. We went up to our room. 2nd floor, 3rd floor, stops. Doors open, and 2 ladies scream. Your costume's so adorable. Like, okay, thank you. And the guy that was with them, he stared at us. Stared at me, stared at my friend, stared at my other friend. Stared at me. He's like, so, is it true what you guys do? Like, what do we do? He's like, you do it. Litter boxes. I'm not sure who you spoke to, but costume, font size, drawing panels. Enterprise, just a couple bucks off. I was like, no. Not for me. Okay. And those are the only impressions that I can think of right now. So, enjoy the rest of your comment.
All right, who else wants to get up here? Even if you went up before. No? Okay, Purple Otter. I know you wanted to get up here, so. What's your name again, Purple Otter?
Cornell.
Cornell! Give it up for Cornell.
I'm going to go ahead and give you a moment to adjust the amount of purple on this stage. I actually get that comment a lot. People come up to me and they say, oh my god, you're purple. It's like, we're at a furry con, that's not really that weird. I mean, we just passed a dog that has all the colors on him. So I guess as far as otters go, the purple ones are rather rare, so people don't see them that often in the wild, so I understand the appeal. I also want to quickly share what happened as me and my roommates were coming to this event. We were on the elevator. It was stopping on every floor because it hates us. And we got to the second floor. It opens. There's a very small old woman there. She looks into the elevator. I could tell her heart almost stopped. And we're like, we're going down. She's like, oh, I'm okay. And she just stays there. You have one floor. Come on, you can tough it out. We don't smell that bad. They don't smell that bad. So, me and my parents are pretty cool with this thing that I do. They basically only know about it because I asked for money to buy fur at one point, which admittedly is pretty obvious what I'm doing if I'm buying fur with their money. But me and my mom eventually, we were sitting outside one day, it was nice. She told me, I did a little bit of research about this furry thing you're doing. Exactly. There's nothing good that can come from that scenario. And she goes, actually, are you into that? Or is that something that you do? You're my mom. Why do you want to know that? Like, if a stranger asks me that, I get it, yeah. That's something that one stranger can ask another stranger, I suppose. But I don't want to know what you and Dad do. Why are you interested in what I do? Especially if it's weird as shit. I'll tell you about vanilla stuff, maybe, after 3 or 4 beers, but no, absolutely not. So, basically, I just said, no, I don't like that at all. It's not. So, who here this is your first con ever? Anybody here? Wow, that's incredible. Nobody at all? This is only my second con. My first con was MFF 2016, so it just happened not too long ago. Here is what happened the first time I walked into the con floor from coming in. You've all been to MFF, I assume, or at least most of you have. If you are not in the main hotel, you have to go across this long skyway to get over to the con, and then you walk in and you emerge into the giant lobby of the Hyatt Regency, and there are just furries everywhere. And so it's really cool if it's your first time going to a con, and you just walk in and it's just buzz. So I walk in, I look, I get really excited, I see a Cubs W flag. I'm a Cardinals fan, so I was not happy about that. I almost went home. I walked in, I looked up, and I was like, the first fursuiter I see, I'm going to give him a hug. And I walked up there, gave him a hug, came back to my roommate. He has a weird face on. And he's like, you need to be careful who you hug. I was like, why? I thought that was the point. He's like, he was wearing shorts. See, you get it. I didn't. I was like, so? That's a pretty normal thing. I guess it's winter, but if you're a Midwesterner, yeah, you're going to wear shorts in the winter. Like, it happens. He goes, no, that means he's hiding something. I was like, oh. So me and that fur are Telegram friends now. Anyway, so I want to thank you for putting this on. This is my first time ever attempting something like this, so I've had a great time. Thank you.
All right, is there anyone who hasn't been up here at all before, that wants to get up? I was just checking. All right, now anyone who was on yesterday wanted to get up? All right. I know you do. I will get you soon. In the back, clown guy. our favorite raccoon clown guy. The Cubs fan. Give it up. The Cubs fan. Here you go.
Now, I was listening through a few little spooky stories up here earlier. Thing is, I'm not one of those guys that frightens easily these days. Now, true, having grown up autistic, back when I was maybe this little, there was a lot that frightened me. In fact, probably one of the strangest fears I ever had when I was a kid. And you would never expect a clown to say this. As a kid, I actually was afraid of balloons. You see, one thing a lot of autistic people have is they get really bothered by loud noises. Fortunately, I overcame that. But yeah, the sound of a balloon popping, I was like, ah! Thank God that doesn't bother me, because nowadays, you can have an air horn right in my ear going, ah! And you're like, yeah. There's pretty much one thing nowadays that probably could scare me, and that's if you were able to manipulate a hive of bees to attack me. I will never overcome the fear of bees. In fact, one time in the carnival business, they had me drive this, quote, new, unquote, truck that they just bought. They happened to be like 30 years old. I start to open the door. There is a hornet's nest in the corner of the door jamb. And of course, I immediately get into another vehicle, straight to the nearest gas station to get a can of Raid, and of course hurry back. I slowly open that door again, stand back about maybe 10-15 feet, and I'm like, until the whole can of Raid is empty. I'm like, are they gone? Are they gone? Are they all dead? Yeah, that is pretty much the only way you can scare me. Is bees, wasps, hornets. Anything with any little bug with a yellow and black striped butt, pretty much. Though there was one other time I was scared, back when I was truck driving. For a little while I drove, and you've probably heard of this company if you've been on the road, for a company called Warner Enterprises. Those guys with those sky blue trucks. One time they sent me to this drop yard. Happened to be in Connecticut. I go in there during daylight. Seems normal, surrounded by a bunch of white trees. For some reason, there's a little bonfire burning in there, though there's nobody there. And then darkness falls. I'm starting to get reminded of the only episode I ever saw of The Sopranos. When they took this guy deep, deep into the woods, and of course iced him. It gets darker. The fire goes out. There is not a single light in this lot. Pitch black. So of course, I'm getting up on that computer. You gotta get me the hell out of here. This thing is reminding me of The Sopranos and giving me the creeps. Dispatcher is like, okay, we'll ignore the fact that you're going over hours. So of course, fly like a bat out of hell to the TA truck stop. That is pretty much the only thing besides bees that has scared me as an adult.
All right, who else want to get up here? I know you did, so go ahead. I forgot your name already. Docs! We'll give it up for Docs. Wait, what? Docs on.
Hello. Hello. Anyway, so some people, you've been told like, a couple of scary stories, and I'm going to tell one that's quite shocking. See, I used to ride one of those little pedal bikes that have the lawnmower engine attached to it. You ever see those going around? You know, it's for basically people with DUIs, can't drive for some reason, you know, an uncommon fear of driving that I have. But for whatever reason, I'm okay with strapping a lawnmower between my legs and going to work. And not only did I do that, I was drinking the night before. Heavily drinking the night before. And I had to get to work at 4 in the morning. I do go to sleep at 1. And I remember waking up, getting dressed, still drunk, and going, "Are you a DUI for this?" No, I'm not. Again, I'm not. And don't do that, please. That's a horrible decision. Anyway, I get onto the bike, and I'm driving to work. And I'm on the side of the road, and it starts raining. And there's a certain kind of rain in Zion you just don't want to be around. It's the kind of rain that feels like monsoon. You're covered head to toe, no matter where you're going, and no matter what little time you're spending. Still, halfway to work. Boom! Like, fine, it's over there. It's by the truck, so I don't have to worry about it. Just keep coming. It's fine, it's on the road over there. It's nowhere near me. All right, we're driving into the storm. So, of course, I'm not thinking, oh yeah, it'll be fine. Lightning ain't gonna hit me. It's not gonna hit me. Why would I be worried? Boom! Look down. Look up. Look up. Is that in front of me? Ew. It was not. Apparently I'd been struck by it. And I didn't realize. And I go to work. My boss comes to me and he says, "Oh, you have a little accident this morning?" Why? Bald. Bald. And I'm at work and I'm sitting there like, "No, I'm fine. It's all bacon. It's delicious." And alrighty then. That was just horrible. That was just horrible.
Did you get superpowers?
No, I didn't get superpowers, but I'm alive, I think. Although this could all be a hallucination for all I care. I'm so happy.
You're seeing large animals.
I am seeing large animals, but it's what I'm going to do to the large animals that should scare you. Anyway, so something a little bit funnier, I think. Anyway. So who here was here yesterday that saw, that was here at the open mic? No? Okay. So, great, I can recycle material and nobody cares. One of Donald Trump's ex-wives once described his penis as follows. Small, orange, and unsatisfying. And unlike Cheetos, I don't have one left. Okay, I think I got it. I'm just going to end this here. It's like, where's the giant comical Hulk? I'm done.
Alright, who else wants to answer? There, come on in.
It wasn't there.
What's that? Sorry, say it again. Oh, SD Moons, give it up.
Give it up. I kind of got talked up here by but that's right. So, since we're talking about, you guys can hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So since we're talking spooky stories, I got one that actually involves ghosts. This one comes from my mom, actually. So as her mom's getting older, she's getting a little more weirder with some of the stuff she's believes or thinks about bot stuff. When I say weird, relative to that is my uncle on that side that tells me this story about his roommate who got a monkey back in college, and they loved it. Loved it, because every time they brought the girls over, the thing would start jerking off. They thought it was the most hilarious thing ever. So one day it escapes, climbs up a tree, and then he tells me they had to blow it out with a shotgun. So this is kind of the reference that you understand for when my mom starts telling me stories, I'm like, okay, what should I expect? So it's me, Wiggly, and Mom at the mall. And I tell my mom, well, hey, while you're out here, because she lives out in North Carolina, I'm like, hey, we should stop and get some like fancy soaps and stuff. Some special shampoos, something like that. She says, no, I can't do that right now. I got a skin condition going on. I'm like, oh, that's too bad. I kind of want to get you something nice. I'm like, well, what happened? And she's like, oh, I went to the doctor, and he looked at it, but we weren't sure it was just something. He gave me like a cream for it, and I was like, okay. And she's like, but I got my own theory. But I didn't want to tell him, because I thought he might think I'm crazy. Now, just think of a relative, a friend, anybody that you know next to you right now, and they turn to you, and they say, I want to tell my doctor about this thought I had, but I think they might think I'm crazy. The next thing they say is going to be insane. So I say, okay, I know this is going to be something, so okay, Mom, what was your theory? She says, well, I was on vacation over the weekend. I went to the beach, and there was a beach house, and on the balcony was a chair for sunbathing. And she said she was out there all day on Saturday, and she took pictures from inside through glass and everything. And on that same Saturday, later that day, she said after she got developed, there was little balls on there. She's like, I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I don't know, they're like little energy balls, like they're little ghost balls. I was like, ghost balls? You got attacked by ghost balls? And she's like, yeah, I did. That's exactly what happened. But I gotta tell him, you'd think I was crazy. It's like, so ghost balls gave you a skin condition? She's like, yeah. So it's not a spooky story for me, maybe for her. So be careful about the ghost balls. You get attacked by those, like you get a skin condition that no doctor can solve. Thank you.
All right, guys, it basically is 5:30 now, so we do have to stop. But I just want to thank everyone for coming up here, and I just wanted to say it's just hard to even come up here. So I give it up to all you guys for coming up here and trying out. So we hope you join us next time or next year and all that kind of stuff, and at any con, really. So yeah, that was open mic. So thanks a lot.